In regards to the prizes, we think we've got a great offering for budding entrepreneurs out there to assist them in pushing their projects forward. Every entrant will actually get a free ticket to the Technology Entrepreneurship Forum. The winner gets $10,000 cash. They get a 1-week entrepreneurship course to Berkeley. We've got a 2-day commercialisation program hosted by Pitcher Partners through their Institute for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, and 12 months mentoring assistance to kick their project along. We have second and third prizes which receive all of those winnings apart from the $10,000 cash. The other finalists, being the top 10, also get the Technology Entrepreneurship Bootcamp on the Monday with Jerry Engel. It's a great opportunity for those guys to sit down with the other winning entrants. That'll be a combination of lectures, workshops and one-on-ones with not only Jerry but a couple of other key commercialisation experts that have Australian-based expertise. As I mentioned before, the sports technology winner will also get $5,000 cash. Just to refocus on the Technology Entrepreneurship Forum that we'll be having on the 28th of October, the top 10 will actually pitch at the back end of that day, and the winners will be announced after that session. It'll be a great opportunity for entrants and others interested in commercialisation and entrepreneurship to come along and see some of those great entries that we'll have coming through. The headline act on the day will be Jerry Engel from Berkeley, but we'll also be having a number of other organisations and experts talking on startups, international entrepreneurship and also angel investment. So it's a great overview for those interested in entrepreneurship. Just some advice for the entrants, and I'll leave a lot of this to Bob Beaumont from Commercialisation Australia to provide some guidance, but just a bit of feedback. We had about 50 entrants to last year's competition, and just as a summary of some of the feedback from last year, it's worthwhile going through that now and giving some of the entrants for this year a bit of guidance. Ultimately, we're looking for the best the projects with the best commercial potential. That's the overarching assessment that we're looking at. We're looking at projects that have potentially disruptive technology, so it disrupts the status quo in a particular market, have high level of innovation, and that might be a high level of commercial application innovation, or it could actually be a high level of research innovation that has commercial application. We're looking at for projects that have not only an initial competitive advantage but a sustainable competitive advantage in the long run. And we're also looking at projects that have an impact on global markets. In regards to the plans in your written submission, we're looking at articulate plans. You really need to articulate and address each of the questions that we have in the template. You need to have a clear target market and how to sell to them. As I mentioned before, a sustainable business model. So how is this business potentially going to operate once you've launched it, or if you have already launched it? Well-considered financial projections, so provide some detail as to what you expect those projections to look like over a 2 or 3 year period. And obviously a strong chance of commercial success is very important. Just briefly reviewing the assessment criteria, we've got 7 key points of assessment varying from about 10 to 20% each. So we're looking at the elevator pitch is particularly important. Although it's only 50 words, we've got a 10% weighting on that. Same for the project description. Again, very important that you can describe your project early on to the judges, and so they can really familiarise themselves with what you're talking about and what your project's about. Market opportunity, target market, business model, financials and IP. They're the other key assessment criteria, and all of that's detailed in the template. In regards to the sports technology stream alone, this project has relevance to athletes and coaches. For this particular stream, we're looking at the project that has the biggest potential impact on the athlete's performance. So it may not necessarily have the highest commercial potential, but it has the biggest potential impact for the athlete. A couple of key themes from last year that people didn't really address very well was what is the problem that you're solving? So why is the solution valuable? Who's the target market that you're providing the solution to, and why is this different to other projects that are in the marketplace that might already be providing solutions to that particular target market? Importantly, address the topic. Interestingly enough, a lot of people didn't address the specific topics that were mentioned before under these key criteria. The template clearly explains what we want to see, and there's 4 or 5 questions under each one of those topics that will provide you with guidance as to what we're after. As I mentioned before, target market is particularly important, so identify and quantify who that target market is and how big that particular market might be. I can't re-emphasise enough to do your research. Research is really important. Has it been done before? Who are you competing against, etc. Again, another important aspect that people missed last year was how would the business operate? I know that some of these projects will be ideas and early stage concepts, but you need to be able to articulate a plan as to how that particular business might operate in the marketplace once it's established, and to identify some of the key functions and responsibilities for that particular business. Again, one aspect that some of the leading entrants had last year was visuals. It was either pictures, diagrams, charts, pictures of prototypes on what their project was about. And again, some of the leading entrants also had a 3 or 4 minute video clip, and will actually accept all of those entries. So beyond the written template, we'll accept a 3 or 4 minute video as well as some pictures and diagrams, because it will help the judges visualise what your project is about as well. 2 last things to consider. Don't get over technical. If it's a strong research project, you've got to understand that firstly you're limited by words. Secondly, we're looking at commercial outcomes. And thirdly, you're pitching to angel investors and commercialisation experts that want to see a commercial outcome. So although it is important to explain some of the technical nature of your project, the overriding assessment criteria for this is actually commercialisation. And again, those that get to the verbal pitching stage or the submission stage on the 5th and 10th of October, bring prototypes if you have them. A lot of the top 10 last year actually included video in their verbal pitches, and the overriding factor is you've got to be able to convince the judges that you've got a fantastic project that can be commercialised. So to conclude the details of the IT Invention Test, I just really strongly suggest to everyone to go to the website. All the information's there for you to look at. Particularly look at the competition details before you make a submission. But we encourage everyone to jump on there, make a submission, and we wish everyone all the best in putting a submission together. So thank you.